And we're back with another video and another trade setup. It has been a busy day. I have been having a phenomenal day, and it's 12:35. 3 winners in a row, head and shoulders on a euro dollar, pound Aussie, good grief, what was it? Pound Aussie double top, and I did have one other one. It's going to annoy me now. What did I have? Oh, dollar yen flag plus 34. Okay, there we go. Anyway, back to this trade setup that is looking like it's going to lose. This is something I came across in my back testing. I've done a few videos on this because I've taken a few of them. I haven't yet had a loser, but in all fairness, I've only taken 3. During my back testing, I came across a pattern that is very similar to a flag pattern. It reacts in the same way, but is not a flag pattern, so I call it a flag relief. So apologies for the name, it's just what I came up with at the time, and the reason for that is because it looks like a flag, it acts like a flag, but we then look for the relief after it. So I've risked 8 pips here for 25. I haven't actually got a signal to sell this, and I'm going to talk you through why I sold it aggressively. First of all, what is it? Well, it happens when we have a very, very directional move, and then we see the market just consolidate in a single at this angle going up, and typically they're all yellow candles other than maybe 1 or 2 of them. And if you look on any time frame, it's not a standard flag because we don't have that clear harmonic movement. We can't clearly see the channel. It is literally just the candles together moving upwards. And all you do is you simply wait for the breakout. It's a very simple pattern to trade, actually. You just wait for it to break and close out the trend lines. Now, the reason why I've taken an aggressive short here is because if I was to get the breakout, we'd actually have to break out below these wicks. And that would give me a breakout to about here, probably. And then to targets here, well, this is only about 5 pips. 5 pips, yeah. And what I'm actually doing is using this for a bigger move. Now on the 240, we have a big AB equals CD pattern. And the 382, the first targets haven't been hit, which are here. So there's the big AB equals CD pattern. The 382 fib targets are here. And as you can see, we're moving quite nicely in a downward trend. And with, 3/4 of the way there, something like that. One other thing here is, this is a positive and a negative, and that is this structure level just here, down at the bottom. As you can see, it's been tested 3 times. And if this pattern comes off and we do break out the channel and we break to the downside, when we come to test down here for a 4th time, I'm going to move to break even. Now, because this has been tested 3 times, if we come down for a 4th time, for me, we stand a better chance of breaking through. And if we do break through, then that resistance becomes major support, and we'll probably only see a little pullback here before continuing down to targets. Now, if, however, I didn't sell this aggressively and I sold it when I was here, the market still needs to come down. I move to break even, and then I only have 5 pips to go until the market comes back and stops me out. Whereas where I am now, I have 8 pips, so I have a little bit more breathing room. And in this situation, with us moving quite nicely to the downside, with us being 3/4 of the way towards targets, with this pattern being here, which I know is a high probability pattern, even though I've not waited for the breakout of the trend line, I've risked here 8 pips for 25, and it's looking like I'm very likely going to be stopped out here because it looks like we're breaking the other way of the trend line. But I'm not bothered. The trade is the trade. For me, it's a very good setup, even though we're going to try and break major structure. But I've already discussed the logical thought process behind that. My stop also, I've made sure, is behind the closes of these candles. I cannot tell you the number of times that we'll come up and just test the closes of candles and then instantly turn and go down and hit target. So, you know, I'm in a good position here, and for me this was a good setup, and we'll come back and this will probably be a loser. So it's always good to be negative, that way you can't be disappointed, but I'm secretly hoping that it wins. And we're back on this trade, and wouldn't you know it, I've lost me 8 pips. So there we go. Stopped out of that particular trade. I will now be holding for the market to go higher for a double top, hopefully for the all the way up here for the completion of that AB equals CD pattern. But for now, Aussie dollar USD minus 8 pips.